whitens 5 times better.
Now we're talking.
Crest White Strips. The secret to a whiter smile is in the strip.
How good is Ragu's new meat sauce? So good, it'll get them out of the kitchen. Now Ragu makes it the same way you do, with half a pound of meat. New Ragu Rich and Meaty.
Fire is so...
hypnotic.
Exactly.
Peaceful.
Yeah.
I can't believe we used to just sit around mindlessly in front of the TV all night.
Yeah. Who does that anymore?
Turn on your fire tonight with Duraflame Fire Logs. Log on.
Now, from your weather today, here's your local on the 8th.
Currently in your area, 26 degrees with snow. Forecast. Your extended forecast.
Here in Charlotte, it's an ice storm that rivals the damage and devastation from Hurricane Hugo. I'm Mike Seidel. We'll show you some of that coming up and update the situation on the roads and at the airport.
You have picked up about 5 inches of snow in the nation's capital. Schools are closed here and in most districts from the Carolinas to New York State.
Philadelphia has picked up 3 inches of snow already, and you could wind up with almost 6 to 8 inches. We'll update you on the storm. That's coming up on Your Weather Today.
Live from the Weather Channel, here's Your Weather Today with Marshall Keith and Heather Tesh.
Well, good morning. It's 1:30. Thanks for joining us.
Well, we're already seeing some heavy snowfall in some cities along the eastern seaboard this morning.
And it will continue to move north throughout the day. Snow is falling in New York City and Boston. Get ready. You'll see it working in this afternoon.
It's headed our way. We had a stripe of snow yesterday in Oklahoma and Arkansas. That's created some problems today, too. But it's going to be sunny there today, but cold. It'll also be cold in the upper Midwest. Rainy in Florida. We'll take you first to the snowy and wintry Northeast.
Well, we have a lot of problems with travel here. It's no wonder that we have a lot of school closings here across the Mid-Atlantic because of the snow that continues to press across this region and continues to work its way northward. Providence, you can see, is kind of knocking on your doorstep. Hartford, not all of this is reaching the ground, but you can see it continues to get closer. Even Boston, you could be finding some of this working in late this morning and then becoming heavy as we head into the afternoon hours. New York City, we have slow going here now because of the snow that continues to work in across the area. Road conditions are going to be slick through here. Also Trenton, Philadelphia, Harrisburg, we have slick road conditions, very slippery in some spots. We've picked up several inches of snow through here, and we have also picked up significant snows here in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. You do see a little bit of a break, though, that is going to work into Washington, D.C. here shortly, so you will see the snow ending. We have a live report now here from Jeff Morrow.
Moderate to heavy snow continues to come down on the nation's capital. Over 5 inches of snow on the ground here now, and that is causing a lot of problems as far as folks trying to get around. The airports, of course, here seeing some major delays at this point, and even the railway lines getting some reports now. Amtrak here between Richmond and Washington, D.C., southbound and northbound, reporting some major delays as some of the switches and some of the warning lights are evidently malfunctioning at this point. Also on the roadways, bus lines are still operating, but I got to tell you, a lot of delays there. Some folks still trying to drive, but as you can see here on 3rd Avenue in front of the Capitol, the roads are snow-packed, and this is a road that's been plowed a couple of times. It's just been snowing so hard that the snow continues to accumulate. As far as kids going into school, everybody out, including the universities, like University of Maryland has been shut down for the day, and even the District of Columbia schools, which had been open earlier, they've decided now to shut down as well. But the federal government is still open for business, and they expect the employees to come on in as best you can. I'm Jeff Morrow reporting from Washington, D.C. Now let's go down the coast a ways and talk to Mike Seidel and the ice storm that has hit that area.
And Jeff, this morning we're left with a little bit of drizzle, but temperatures now above freezing at 34, so no more accumulation of ice, but the damage has been done. Certainly on the roadways, secondary roads, residential roads, the best bet is to sit home. Tons of debris. In fact, this will likely rival Hurricane Hugo, certainly from a power outage perspective. Duke Power now saying that this could actually surpass the almost 700,000 homes which lost power in their immediate area. And across the Carolinas, over 1 million homes without power because ice on power lines and trees. Big oak tree back here, huge limb. One came crashing down, almost nailed a photographer about 20 minutes ago. The weight of the ice is going to be there, even though it's 30. Ice doesn't melt very quickly. Let's go over here. We have another tree we want to show you over here, and limbs everywhere. Look out, and there's still a lot of ice on the sidewalks. Be careful going out the front door. Look at all the limbs here. Fortunately, these trees are safely away from power lines. But again, we'll still see more limbs coming down today and more power being knocked out as Duke Power tries to get the power on as much as possible. One safety tip, don't walk under trees. This is what happens. Look at this tree. You can just see all the ice coming down. Now, these are small pieces of ice, but imagine a big chunk of ice or a limb coming down and hitting you on your head. Be safe, be careful. All schools are closed. Airport basically not doing much this morning, but airport officials reporting that most airlines will be ramping up late this morning and through the afternoon. So if you got a flight, check ahead. They've had 126 cancellations so far at Charlotte Douglas International Airport. Better weather ahead, mid-40s tomorrow, into the 50s over the weekend, so this ice will be melting, but some of you will be in the dark and in the cold for at least several more days. Now with more on the storm, it roars up into the New England area in Boston. Here's our storm analyst, Dr. John Neese.
Yeah, Mike, roars is right. Storm making good progress. In fact, we're starting to see perhaps the back edge of the snow will be approaching Washington, D.C. by around noontime. Here's our winter Doppler, white as snow. The pink is the mixed precipitation and the ice, and notice how that has really phased out over the last couple hours. Green is rain. The back edge of at least the band of moderate snow is right about here, and so we do expect the snow to cut off rather abruptly probably in D.C. around noontime. Baltimore an hour or two later. Should snow moderately to at times heavily in Philadelphia into late afternoon or early evening, and in New York City moderate. Right now light snow will go moderate to at times heavy through most of the day. Total accumulations, Philadelphia, you'll likely end up with 6 to 8 inches, similar for New York City and also for Washington and Baltimore. Quite a storm, but at least it's a quick mover.
Well, it is quite a storm across this area, and keep that in mind too if you're going to be waiting at home for somebody to return home from work later on today, because of that snow continuing here in Philadelphia and New York City. You can bet it's going to take a lot of folks quite a bit of time to travel back to their homes through some of these snowy road conditions. Pittsburgh, you too are picking up some snow, and we're looking at about 1 to 3 inches coming in through here. eventually, Boston, you're going to pick up 1 to 3, and again, that will be around for the evening rush hour. Now, the good news for tomorrow is that things will settle down, the weather conditions quiet here, but we still could have some rough travel conditions with some slippery roads left over from today. Marshall?
Speaking of slippery roads, although the precipitation has ended in Charlotte, there are still some travel problems, plenty of ice left behind. We'll take you there coming up in a couple of minutes right after your local on the 8s.